Stop for a moment. Don't move. Listen carefully. Something is happening to you right now, and it is not coming from the world around you, but from the unseen realm pressing against your spirit, trying to get your attention before something inside you breaks. In this exact moment, heaven is leaning in, watching the way your heart tightens, the way your breath shortens, the way your mind tries to understand why a sudden weight is settling on your chest. You are not imagining it. This is a divine interruption, a spiritual intervention, a moment written into your timeline long before you were born, a moment when God reaches through the noise and touches the deepest places of your being, because something in your life has been quietly draining your blessing, poisoning your momentum, weakening your spiritual immunity, and He will not let you continue without revealing the truth. You can feel it already, the shift, the pull, the tightening of the invisible thread between you and heaven. Something that was asleep inside you is opening its eyes. Something your spirit buried because it hurt too much to face is rising again. You are being summoned. You are being confronted. You are being awakened. Before you go any deeper, write your warmest wishes in the comments and add 777 as a spiritual activation code, because heaven responds to faith made visible. Let your heart speak and release what it truly desires, not what fear taught you to settle for. After you write it, like this video and subscribe. Do it now. Do it with intention, because obedience opens spiritual gates. In this moment, your destiny is listening to you, and the unseen realm is shifting around you, because there is a pattern in your life, a cycle you keep returning to, a habit that keeps choking the roots of the blessings meant for you. This moment is God placing His hand on it and commanding you to face it, release it, and stop allowing it to eat away at the future He crafted for you. Do not hesitate. Act now. There is something deeply spiritual happening inside you, something that does not belong to ordinary life. You have been feeling the symptoms without understanding the cause, the sudden heaviness, the tension in your chest, the way your intuition has been trying to speak louder, the way your dreams have become chaotic or intense. These are not random. They are signs of spiritual dissonance, a misalignment between the divine blueprint written over your life and the choices, behaviors, or inner agreements you've unknowingly tolerated. God has been whispering to you, but the whisper has now turned into a pull, a pressure, a force guiding you to look at something you have been avoiding. The blessing designed for your next season is too powerful, too holy, too destiny-shifting to coexist with what has been clinging to you. This is why your spirit has been restless. This is why you keep feeling like you're on the edge of something, unable to step through. Heaven is preparing to release something heavy into your life, but first, the weight on your soul must be removed. You are entering an atmosphere where divine rewiring is already taking place. Even as you listen, something in your spiritual DNA is being examined. Angels are observing the fractured pieces of your emotional patterns, the hidden wounds inside your cellular memory. The old agreements your spirit made when you were younger and didn't know how to protect yourself. They are performing a kind of supernatural surgery, opening what was closed, exposing what was buried, repairing what was broken. God is showing you that the thing draining your blessings is not loud, obvious, or dramatic. It is subtle. It hides in your choices, your reflexes, your reactions. It hides in the way you speak to yourself, the way you love people who harm you, the way you push away opportunities because somewhere deep inside, you believe you are not worthy of them. It hides in your excuses, in your distractions, in the moments you silence your own intuition. It hides in you, but it did not come from you. It was planted. Something in your timeline shifted long ago. A moment when your innocence cracked and your spirit tried to protect itself. This moment created a habit, a survival mechanism, a behavioral echo that followed you all the way into adulthood. And ever since that moment, every blessing meant for you has had to push through layers of fear, doubt, self-sabotage, and emotional reflexes that you didn't even realize were shaping your decisions. God is confronting that root now. He is peeling back the layers you forgot were there. He is illuminating the wound you learned to walk around instead of heal. This is not punishment. This is rescue. Your spirit is remembering something, not from this world, but from Eden. Before trauma, before fear, before instincts replaced identity. Heaven is awakening the Eden memory encoded in you, the blueprint of who you were before life taught you to shrink. This awakening is uncomfortable because your body doesn't understand it, your emotions don't trust it, and your mind can't explain it. But your spirit recognizes it. Your spirit remembers the language of freedom. Your spirit remembers what it felt like to walk in full alignment with destiny, without hesitation, without guilt, without anything draining your divine momentum. That memory is rising now, forcing the darkness in you to tremble. God is telling you that a blessing has been trying to reach you, a large one, a life-altering one. But it has been getting caught in a spiritual bottleneck created by an internal habit that keeps weakening your ability to receive. In the unseen realm, angels have watched you come close to breakthroughs, only to pull back at the last moment. Not because God denied you, but because your spirit was carrying something that diluted your ability to hold what was meant for you. You have been living with spiritual microfractures, small emotional cracks that have been leaking your strength and draining your anointing drop by drop. These cracks were not visible to you, but heaven saw them, and heaven is addressing them now. This is why relationships have shifted suddenly. This is why people you trusted have shown their hidden intentions. This is why your energy has been inconsistent, why your motivation has been unstable, why you sometimes feel like you are carrying invisible weights. God has been exposing what was feeding on your blessings. He has been shaking the hidden places where old patterns lived, and now he is bringing the confrontation to the surface because your next season cannot begin with the same spiritual posture as the last. You have entered a divine crossing point, a threshold moment where your next decision will determine the trajectory of the blessings waiting on the other side. Heaven is watching. Angels are standing guard. The unseen realm is waiting for your spirit to choose alignment over survival, destiny over habits, truth over comfort. You are being called to rise. You are being called to transform. You are being called to remove what has been killing your blessings so you can finally breathe in the fullness of the life written for you. The air around you thickens the moment you step into this part, as if the atmosphere itself is listening to your heartbeat, waiting for your spirit to admit what your mind has been avoiding. A scene unfolds inside you like a slow-motion moment in a film where the world stops spinning and something ancient, something divine, something deeply personal leans forward to speak. You can almost feel a hand on your shoulder, not physical, but unmistakably real, steady, firm, and full of authority. This is the moment where illusions dissolve. This is the moment where truth steps out of the shadows. This is the moment where God pulls back the veil and shows you the thing that has been quietly rewriting the direction of your life without your permission. You may feel a tightness in your chest, a strange warmth in your spine, or an inexplicable clarity washing over you. These sensations are not coincidences. They are spiritual indicators of a deeper confrontation beginning inside you. A confrontation heaven has been preparing for a long time. There is a cycle you have kept alive without realizing it. A pattern you inherited, absorbed, or unconsciously repeated. And this pattern has been acting like spiritual corrosion, dissolving blessings before they can fully settle into your life. It has been weakening the frequency of your prayers, not by blocking them, but by distorting the way you interpret divine responses. What God sent as guidance, you mistook as resistance. What heaven whispered as direction, you felt as confusion. What your spirit tried to reveal, your emotions translated into fear. This pattern has rewired your internal compass, but not in the way heaven designed it. And now your soul is being recalibrated, because God will not allow you to continue walking with broken navigation. The habit you formed was never meant to be a companion. It was a symptom, a reflex, a distortion created at a time when you didn't have the strength or the knowledge to respond in a healthier way. And it has followed you like an invisible echo into every opportunity, every relationship, every new beginning. You have been surviving on fragments of your blessing because this habit has been draining the full measure. It created what the prophets once called double vision of the soul, the inability to see yourself the way heaven sees you. This double vision made you doubt yourself at the exact moments you were supposed to rise. It made you withdraw when you should have stepped forward. It made you silence your voice when your breakthrough depended on speaking. It made you accept less than you deserved, not because God wanted you to suffer, but because the habit conditioned you to believe that discomfort was safer than elevation. And heaven is breaking that conditioning now. In the unseen realm, angels are moving around you with precision and purpose. You cannot see them, but your spirit feels the shift. Like a draft of air, a tingling in your fingertips, or the sensation of being watched by something benevolent. They are not here to comfort you. They are here to extract something. It is a spiritual extraction, a removal of a long-embedded frequency that your body has adapted to, like a toxin your cells learned to tolerate. But now the divine command has been issued. Remove it, dislodge it, break it. And this extraction will feel unfamiliar because the habit became part of your identity, even though it was never part of your design. Heaven cannot allow something foreign to remain in a vessel chosen for destiny. You may start remembering things you haven't thought about in years, moments of embarrassment, rejection, hidden tears, silent disappointments, emotional injuries you told yourself you healed, but never fully did. Do not be alarmed. This is your spirit pulling contaminated memory strands to the surface so they can finally be expelled. These memories carry spiritual residue that has been influencing your behaviors. It is not the memory itself harming you, but the emotional coding attached to it. This coding lives deep within your cellular structure, buried in what supernatural science calls the Eden memory system, the part of your spiritual DNA that remembers perfect alignment with God before pain distorted perception. When these wounded codes are triggered, the habit activates automatically as a form of protection, except now, God is replacing old codes with new instructions. Your emotional programming is being rewritten. This is why you feel the internal tension, the push and pull between who you were and who you are becoming. The old version of you is not dying quietly. It is fighting, resisting, trying to survive, because for so long it was the only version you knew. But God is confronting that identity now, standing before you like a mirror that does not lie. And in that mirror, you can see the truth. You are not your patterns. You are not your reflexes. You are not your emotional survival mechanisms. You are not the fears that shaped your habits. You are not the echoes of older wounds. You are a vessel chosen for a blessing so heavy, so luminous, so specific to your soul's architecture that anything not aligned with it is being forced out by heaven's command. Hidden enemies have recognized the shift and are becoming restless. Not physical enemies, but spiritual ones, attachments, generational echoes, and emotional parasites that fed on your vulnerability for years. They sense that you are awakening to the truth, that you are beginning to identify the habit that has been draining you, and they fear what will happen once you remove it. Because once it is gone, your blessings will no longer leak. Your strength will no longer evaporate. Your prayers will no longer feel unanswered. Your spiritual authority will no longer be diluted. You will walk into a version of yourself that terrifies the forces that once manipulated you. As this process intensifies, you might begin to feel waves of discomfort. Heaviness, followed by lightness. Sadness, followed by clarity. Pressure, followed by relief. This is the spiritual detox, the purging of internal debris that has been living in your emotional bloodline. It is supernatural biology in action. Angels are performing surgery in realms your physical eyes cannot see, removing spiritual scar tissue, reconnecting broken frequency lines, repairing the circuits of your destiny. You are being rebuilt from the inside out, and as this reconstruction continues, your spirit will begin to recognize the root of the habit, the exact emotional thread that has been pulling you backward every time you tried to move forward. There will come a moment, not far from now, when the realization hits you like a flash of light, a sudden, undeniable understanding of what has been sabotaging you. When that moment arrives, you will feel something release inside you. It may feel like exhaling after holding your breath for years. It may feel like a weight sliding off your chest. It may feel like your mind suddenly becoming clear. This release is heaven's confirmation that the old code is being erased, and the new one is being written. You will not return to who you were. You are crossing into a new internal territory, where blessings can finally land without interruption. The moment you step into this final stretch, the atmosphere around you changes again, as if the unseen realm inhales and holds its breath, waiting to see what your spirit will choose. A scene unfolds inside you, like the climax of a sacred film, where everything slows down and only one truth remains illuminated by divine light. You may feel it now. The pressure, the tremble, the electricity moving through you like invisible hands awakening parts of your spirit that have been dormant for years. This is not imagination. This is not emotion. This is the point where heaven finishes what it started. This is the moment God has been guiding you toward since the very first whisper. The moment where the habit that has drained you, weakened you, and quietly reshaped your destiny is finally exposed and forced to loosen its grip. You can almost feel something inside you shifting, something that has been resisting change, trying desperately to hold on. But the presence pressing against you is stronger, older, and filled with an authority that nothing in darkness can withstand. You have walked through seasons where you felt like you were fighting an invisible battle, not knowing why certain doors remained half open, why peace slipped through your fingers, why opportunities dissolved the moment you reached for them. You thought it was timing. You thought it was bad luck. You thought it was spiritual attack. But heaven is telling you the deeper truth. There was a fracture inside you that you kept feeding without realizing it. A spiritual leak disguised as a familiar behavior. A reflex you justified because you didn't understand its impact. Every time you repeated it, a little more of your blessing drained away. Every time you returned to it, the frequency of heaven around you dimmed. Every time you surrendered to it, you unknowingly strengthened what was weakening you. This is why the enemy wanted to keep you distracted. This is why certain people were placed around you. This is why emotional triggers kept resurfacing. The goal was not to destroy you all at once, but to deprive you slowly, quietly, consistently, until you lost the ability to recognize how powerful you truly are. But now, heaven has intervened, and when heaven intervenes, nothing remains as it was. The angels assigned to your life have been hovering closer than ever, mapping the hidden regions of your spiritual DNA. identifying the exact location where the old pattern grew roots. They have been removing strands of emotional residue, cutting cords of past agreements, dismantling spiritual attachments that entered through moments of weakness. They are cleansing the memory of old wounds from the Eden archive within you, the sacred place in your being that remembers who you were before brokenness tried to rewrite your identity. They are restoring clarity where confusion lived, strength where exhaustion reigned, direction where fear created detours. You may feel strange sensations, warmth in your chest, a pull in your stomach, a tingling in your hands, a sudden shift in your breathing. These are signs that divine reconstruction is taking place, that your body is responding to the new frequency being written into your being. There is a vision heaven is releasing over you, a glimpse of who you become when this habit no longer rules you. In this vision, your posture is different, your voice is stronger, your decisions are sharper, your spirit is lighter, you walk with alignment instead of hesitation. You carry the kind of authority that makes darkness retreat before you even speak. You no longer live on emotional leftovers. You no longer beg for clarity. You no longer question your worth. You are unrecognizable to the version of yourself who once felt trapped by survival patterns. This is the version heaven has been trying to bring you into, the version that carries the full measure of blessing written over your name. The blessing that has been circling your life, waiting for the internal conditions to shift so it could finally land without leaking out. That blessing is now approaching again, stronger, clearer, and ready to anchor itself in your timeline, because the obstruction is losing its final hold. But before it fully releases, there is something God is saying to you in this moment, something meant only for your spirit to understand. You are not stepping into this new season alone. There is angelic reinforcement being assigned to you right now. Not symbolic, not metaphorical, literal beings of light whose sole purpose is to guard your transformation, to enforce the changes taking place in you, to ensure that the pattern you are breaking today does not return. These angels will walk beside you, whisper to your intuition, block what is not aligned, amplify what is righteous, and guide you toward the doors heaven has already unlocked. You will begin to feel their presence in small but undeniable ways, sudden clarity, unexpected peace, intuition becoming sharper, certain people losing access to your energy, opportunities appearing without effort, signs repeating themselves until you cannot ignore them. Your destiny is recalibrating. Your emotional energy is resetting. The spiritual leak is closing. The fracture is healing. And as this final sealing takes place, you may feel a release, a sudden exhale, a weight falling off, a sense of being lighter inside your own body. This release is the sound of your spirit rising. It is the moment where heaven says the extraction is complete. You have been rewired. You have been restored. You have been redeemed from patterns you never chose, but carried for too long. And now, as this transformation settles into the deepest parts of your being, God is whispering one final truth to you. The blessing that once struggled to reach you is now free to find you. The breakthrough that once hovered at a distance is now stepping into your life. The opportunities that once swept through your fingers will now anchor themselves to your path. The peace that felt impossible will now become your atmosphere. The strength that felt unreachable will now flow through you without resistance. You will notice the change not only in your emotions, but in your decisions. You will stop choosing what harms you. You will stop returning to what drains you. You will stop seeking comfort in places that once numbed you. You will stop surrendering your power to people who never knew how to hold it. The habit has been exposed. Its influence has been dismantled. Its authority over your life has ended. What begins now is alignment. Alignment with the version of you heaven always saw. Alignment with the blessings you were always meant to carry. Alignment with the future that has been waiting for your spirit to awaken. The path ahead is not just brighter, it is cleaner, stronger, spiritually protected, and divinely orchestrated. And as you step into this new territory, heaven speaks one last time. Do not look back. Do not search for the old pattern. Do not entertain its voice. Do not revisit the emotions that kept it alive. The door behind you has been sealed. The cycle has ended. The blessing is now free to flow. Walk forward. Your spirit has been restored. Your destiny has been recalibrated. And the next chapter of your life is ready to begin.